On this week's episode of Midlife Ramble, I have a guest. My good friend Kim Schlag is here from the US of A for a Canadian winter wonderland experience.
Yes.
So we're just going to be talking about a little bit about how we met, what we did yesterday with all of our friends and Instagram sort of followers. So go and get yourself something hot and cozy, and we'll see you in a moment. Welcome back to this week's episode of Midlife Ramble. So a little bit of a different episode this week. I have my friend Kim in town.
Hello.
I'm so happy she's here. So we're going to have a really good show today. We're literally just going to talk about us. A little bit of a self-indulgent show, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. So first of all, how did we meet?
Somehow online. And then you put out a call for like, hey, I'm looking for guests for my podcast. Basically pitch me. Tell me why I should talk to you on my podcast.
Did I do that?
You did. It was years ago. It must have been 7 or 8 years ago. 5, 6. I was 48 when I made that call to you in my car, and I was crying about
And so we knew each other then.
And we knew each other well enough then. So that was when I was 48, and I'm 52 now. So we've known each other at least a year at that point.
So we're sort of like a fitness, we've had like a fitness romance, haven't we? And what's really funny is that, so Kim came here this week, and tell them the story about your kids. It's just so funny. So we've never met in person.
Which we forget all the time because we speak so often throughout the week. We Marco Polo, we DM, we're talking all the time. We have this ongoing conversation. And every so often one of us remembers we actually have never met in person. So we decided to do this meetup. I'm flying up here, and my kids were asking me on Friday as I'm packing, they're like, where are you going again? And who are you going to see? So I said, remember, I'm going to see my friend Amanda. And they've heard me talk about you a million times.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see Amanda. And I said, remember, this is our first time meeting. And they're like, hold up. You're flying to a foreign country to stay at the house of a person you've never met. How do you even know Amanda is Amanda? She could be anybody.
I mean, I could be a serial killer. She slept with one eye open last night, just in case. But
so far, I'm still here.
I know. And it didn't seem extreme for us to do that, right, at all. And I've been traveling a bit the last couple of years, and when I've been landing in places, I've been finding that people are reaching out going, do you want to catch up? Do you want to meet? And it's really interesting that like the social media has like this real positive side, this community building side that I love. But tell them why you wanted to come to Canada as well. So yes, you came to stay with this serial killer in Toronto. I'm not that bad.
Well, I just announced on my Instagram stories one day that I was going to come visit Amanda. I turned 52 this year, and I know that's not like a big marker, but when I turned 50, it was
Kim, nobody cares. That's why
nobody cares. She's like, when I turned 50, it was 2020. The world was shut down. I then got long haul COVID because I have to copy everything Amanda does.
We both had 50th birthdays in lockdown. And we both had long COVID.
And so when I finally got around to like, I'm going to celebrate a big birthday in a big way, I decided when I was 52 that before I was 53, I was going to do 52 new things. And they could be little itty bitty things like I learned to temper an egg. They could be bigger things like traveling to a foreign country to meet a friend you've never met before. And so that's what we were doing. I want to try poutine.
Poutine's going to happen today.
Poutine is happening today.
Not Canadian. It's an essential dish. I think I've talked about this on a previous podcast about you coming and saying. So it's chips, fries, whatever, and then you have, and I think they might be cooked in duck fat. I think they're supposed to be. They probably are. And then you have like a gravy with cheese curds on, and it is delicious. It's really good.
Yes.
But so that's on your thing, poutine, coming to Canada, meeting a weird stranger from the internet, and then you've got and tempering an egg, whatever that means. And then you said you've got like some like things in there that aren't so crazy, like trying pickleball.
I want to try pickleball. I want to learn to knit. I'm working on learning how to do the shuffle, which is like a TikTok phenom kind of dance.
Oh my God, we were going to try that?
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. Maybe we'll do that thing where we do it side to side, like in your home.
And I'm still not perfecting it yet. I'm just learning. It's actually strangely hard.
Yeah. I have to Google it. Actually, I'm going to put it up here wherever there's space to show you what the shuffle is. Yeah. It's like slow-mo, like.
Yeah, it's kind of like the old like Running Man, but it's plus. It's like Running Man
on steroids.
Yeah, it's really fun. And so I'm doing a whole bunch of things. Just the idea, as people get older, like I don't want to stagnate. I don't want to just be so stuck in a rut of this is the things I do for fun and this is the food I eat and these are the places I go, right? And so I'm just trying to expand my horizons.
Oh, you could add on the first time you've done content a content.
Yes.
We just did, we're matching on purpose because we just did the Winnie workout that I was supposed to do last week. I didn't do. I was just running behind. So we did it together.
Yes.
So that's going to be
some content.
Yeah. So you can add that to your list maybe. And then our kids. Our kids gave us some ideas of things to do.
Oh my gosh! Wait a minute.
It's going to kill you. You know.
I have to pull up the list. Bare knuckle boxing was one of them. Shave my eyebrows. My kids suggested that could be a new thing for me.
So can we talk about eyebrows? Because I have a strong eyebrow game, as you know.
You do?
I know. I have good genetics.
Do.
Yeah. I have like hairy people on both sides of my family that had impressive eyebrows. I have one eyebrow actually, not two. I just did something about the middle.
Yeah.
Anyway, the like my mum has hairy eyebrows, but she was a child of the 60s and she plucked them all off and they've never grown back.
Never grew back.
So never ever touch your eyebrows.
No, I will not be shaving my eyebrows off. My kids came up with a whole list. The worst one, and Amanda, when I said this, was just like, do your kids even like you? Because one of their suggestions was that they would blindfold me and drive me to another state. We live on the East Coast, so it's, it's pretty fast to get to lots of states. They would drive me blindfolded to another state, drop me off without my cell phone or money, and I have to find my way home.
Yeah, your kids don't like you.
That was their idea of something new to try.
Something new and fun. Oh my god. Anyway, so where are you up to? How many have you got on your list?
Oh, I don't even know. I think I've done like 12. So I got to pick up the pace here.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Till October.
Oh, you went up till October.
So
right.
it's October to October. I
was going to sleep out 2 nights in a tent.
I want to backpack because I've gone hiking a ton and I went backpacking for one night. So now I want to go on like a multi-night backpacking trip. I think I want to do like a solo adventure somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't exactly
I love traveling on my own.
Yeah.
It's really great to do.
Yeah.
That's exciting. And so I you said backpack then. I was watching something the other day and it was like retro, like, so it was like from the UK and they were talking about a haversack. And that's what we used to call them, and everyone calls them backpack now. Have you ever heard of a haversack?
I've heard of a haversack. I don't know if that's a British word or an old-fashioned word.
I think it's both.
Okay.
Old-fashioned and British. But I remember going to school with my haversack on.
Haversack.
Isn't that funny? So that's a bit random. So yesterday, we put out a call to people and said, Kim's in town, and Kim, one of the things on your list was snowshoeing, and the weather's just been so strange here, we haven't been able to guarantee it. And then also to meet people and then go snowshoeing just seemed a lot to organise. So instead we just went to, and we're going to tell a funny Tim Horton story, and said yesterday what we did is we went to Hyde Park, and I'm going to play the video in a minute, but we went to Hyde Park and we just took coffee and Portuguese tarts. That's a new thing.
That was a new thing. I'd never even heard of Portuguese tarts.
Natas, I think they're pronounced. I might be wrong there. Portuguese custard tarts. They're just so good.
They were delicious.
And coffee, and then we put the call out to people who were in the area, and we had like, I think 20 people show up, and we did a little walk around the park, and I'm actually going to play that right now. Right, so get in a bit tighter. Over in. Throw your arms. Throw your arms. Isn't it with all of them?
Right. And then it's like you want to suit, but it's like
for everyone. Or this would be quite cute to see, won't it? So it was a ton of fun, and it was so nice to see everybody out there. But there was a prequel to this video.
When Kim, Amanda turned me into a thief.
I didn't realise Kim was this like raging shoplifter. Like, I invite this strange woman into my house and she starts stealing.
We go to pick up the coffee, and Amanda had ordered these 3 boxes of it. And then she grabs 2, I grab 1. She's like, oh, grab the bag too. So I grab the big shopping bag. We drive off. 20 minutes later, when we arrive at the park, she says, open the bag, we're gonna consolidate things. And it's someone else's food order. It's a box of donuts, it's iced tea.
Well, I think it was coffee, but it had gone cold.
Well, that wasn't there too. There were bottles.
Oh, there was iced tea in there as well.
Yeah.
It was a huge big paper bag, and there was a receipt in there for $26. I'm going to go to Tim Hortons today.
Just going to make it right.
Because it's not sitting well with me, and I just tried to give it away, and I couldn't. So I don't know what to do with the donuts, actually. I think maybe I'll give them to a homeless person or something, but the coffee's going in the bin. But it was like, so I was like, oh my God.
So, new thing I did this weekend.
Shoplifting.
Check.
Yeah. Shoplifting, yeah. There's a special place for women like you, I'm just saying. Anyway, so it was so nice, and so we had this really, really great, lovely meeting with all of the women, and
that's another new thing for me. I've never done like a meet and greet where I just said like, hey, I'm going to be in such and such a place. If you live there, let's meet. I got to meet so many people who have done my program or that have just been Instagram friends.
Yeah, some of my clients I sent Kim's way because Kim does programs that I don't do, and I like her work and stuff. So it was really great. And then afterwards we had afternoon tea planned, but we had 2 hours to spare. So I just took Kim shopping. It was just cute.
And it really was such like a little like international experience. It reminded me of when I lived in Europe because it's not like an American experience that you go to like one bakery and another bakery and the vegetable shop and the meat market, and that's what it was like. And
it reminds me of when I was a kid and my mum would say, we're going shopping, and we'd go to the butchers and then we'd go to the fishmongers and stuff like that. And so this little strip, it's Bloor West Village, people probably know where that is if you're from Toronto. It was just so nice to do, and Kim was like videoing the meat in the butchers. It was just really funny. But it's a very multicultural city for sure, and that area particularly has like an Eastern European sort of.
Well, there was a Ukrainian bakery.
Yeah.
There was an Australian bakery.
Cobb's, the best bread in the world. Have you had any of the bread yet?
No,
oh,
I'll have to try this.
Yeah, it's like the biggest piece of stodge ever. We're just going to stodge you up because she's going to have bread, and then she's going to have poutine. Poutine's going to be before she goes to the airport. And then afterwards we went to the Old Mill Tavern, and it was beautiful inside.
So pretty.
Like a little old Tudor hotel.
It was gorgeous and so just warm, which was great after being outside all afternoon.
Oh.
And it was just warm and cozy, and we had this lovely...
And everyone was dressed up to the nines. Oh, it was just...
We had planned on coming home and getting dressed.
Yeah, I wasn't going to wear a fascinator like some of the people there.
But we were going to be clean and, not wearing a hat and sweatshirt.
Our hiking gear, and we stunk.
We did.
Yeah.
But we had a lovely tea.
Yeah, we had cream tea. Well, it wasn't a cream tea, it was an afternoon tea. Do you know the difference between cream tea and afternoon tea?
No.
So afternoon tea is, it's usually between 2 and 4. Mm-hmm. But I think that depends, between 2 and 4. And it comes on all of the stands with, you have your sandwiches, your cucumber sandwiches, and then you have like the petit four, like the small cakes. And then you have a cream cake element, which is usually a scone, a savoury and a sweet potentially, with jam and then clotted cream if you're lucky.
Some places, so delicious.
Some people don't always do clotted cream, but we had clotted cream yesterday. Well, a cream tea is if you just want to go out and just have the scone and the cream.
Without the dessert.
Without all of the bits with it. So some people will just do cream tea, and it's like...
I did a poll. I have to pull this up, Amanda. You had very distinct feelings.
Right, I'm going to talk about this while she pulls this
cream
up
or jam.
I looked at the results and they were wrong. Yeah. So listen, if you have a scone, all right.
The results are wrong.
No. Yeah, they're wrong. Right, she's going to share the results in a minute. Your followers don't know what they're talking about.
My followers are wrong.
Your followers are wrong. Take a screenshot, and I'm going to put it up here because it's just, they're wrong. So when you have a scone, you cut it in half and you put the jam on, and then you plock the cream on top. That's how you do it. Unless you're from Devon and Cornwall, where clotted cream comes from, and they're like, you treat clotted cream like butter, so you have the scone, and then you put the cream on, and then you put the jam on. But they're the anomaly. I know they invented clotted cream. And
maybe most of my followers are from Cornwall.
Devon and Cornwall. But the right way to eat it is, first of all, with the jam and then the cream on top, because you want to just be able to layer the thickness of the cream. You don't want to limit yourself. If it's a restrictive mindset to have jam on top.
Okay, that's good to know.
Good to know. Anyway, so it was really delicious, and we didn't even... Well, we tried to eat it all, but we couldn't, could we?
We could not. And I thought that we were going to be able to eat that and then come home and eat dinner a few hours later. We did not eat dinner.
It bags me every time I have a cream tea or afternoon tea. And
the food was very small, but there was a lot of it. But you know what I do like about that? It's, you know, there's these little bits, we just talked a lot, right? So it's like eating a little bit, talking, eating, enjoying the atmosphere. So,
and I taught her that like a green tea or a herbal tea is a 3-minute infusion in a teapot. Americans need to all buy teapots.
That is new to, I did not know that 3 minutes was how long you have to steep your tea for it to
5 minutes for a black tea. I'm not on black tea at the moment, but 5 minutes for a black tea.
That is good knowledge. 3 minutes for an herbal, 5 minutes.
5 minutes for a black tea. A green tea is a bit less. Fight me on this because you're wrong if you disagree. And you need a teapot. Like we're drinking it with a tea bag in the thing, but
this is not proper.
I think it's okay if I don't mind this for herbal tea. I've got these I'm not consistent. So this is a herbal tea. We're doing chamomile. It's still not my favorite, but I don't mind having herbal tea. But a proper cup of tea, like a black tea or green tea, I think is nice in a teapot. And you should warm the teapot first. I was going to teach you, but I broke the lid on the teapot. So you heat the teapot with some hot water. You put the tea bags in, or loose tea. And your loose tea is 1 for you and 1 for the pot. Or if there's 2 of us, 2 for you, 1 for the pot.
Okay.
And then you fill it with water, let it steep for 3 for green and 5 for black tea. And then strain it if it's obviously loose tea. Yeah. But it should be like thick and brown, and your spoon should be able to stand up in it. I hate it when I see these people boiling, they're warming the water up in the microwave. A bit of me dies inside every time.
Well, we'll clear that up with this video.
Okay. So we had afternoon tea, and then after we've just done a video. So the Winnie is just being recorded, and Kim's also done an ab workout. I'm going to link to them in the caption so you can go and check them out. And we were like, it was Kim's idea, and I really like it. It was sort of like, let's do standing ab work, and we were like, it's like ab work for vertigo.
Because the reason I thought of it here is because I wanted to go out on the famous patio where you do all your workouts. And it's covered in snow, and I was thinking, what could we do that's not involving anything on the ground?
Amanda doesn't make me lie down.
Amanda's not going to make me lie down in the snow and ice. And I thought about a standing ab workout, or just some standing ab options, because there's lots of reasons you might not want to lay down. One, for me, vertigo in perimenopause was terrible, and one of the things that really kind of triggered it was getting up and down off the ground, and so that's a reason you might not want to get up and down. If you're just kind of starting your fitness journey and you're bigger, and it can be really challenging and take a lot of energy, and so for that reason, and sometimes you just don't want to lay on your dirty old floor or on your snow.
And there's another really important part to it as well. Is like, we know most core exercises you see lying down, but we want to try and promote a functional core, and your core is essentially like from just below your hips to above your neck, and this is everything, right? So you're not just working the six-pack. And so we wanted to show you that like being able to stand and walk with loads actually helps stabilize. It helps create that powerhouse for you. And so although we didn't want to lie down in the snow, there was a really good reason and an application for it. So hopefully you'll check that out and enjoy that. It's pretty easy once you get going, isn't it?
Yeah. I love to talk.
So I wanted to talk to you, Kim, about so we've been following social media and in this together if we say 5 years, it's 5 or more years. How have you sort of seen it evolve, and have you seen some trends you like and trends you don't like? I mean, it's a completely different space from like when we first met, when we were just posting infographics. We were talking about that, weren't we?
Yeah, I actually kind of miss infographics because they're such a great way to learn.
Yeah.
Like infographics, like you can take a picture and you can learn a bit of a concept, and really it makes it stick. But the algorithm wants what it wants. And
it wants reels, and I'm like, I don't want to fucking dance for you.
Yeah. I do like dancing. I've done a teeny bit.
I might shuffle.
Yeah, you might. And that's the thing, I'm a person who generally in life likes to dance, so I'll do a little bit of that. But it doesn't really teach people a ton for me to be dancing for them, right?
No.
And so that's definitely been a big shift. The infographics was just such a great way to teach, and that's why I'm here. Like, I'm here to teach, to educate, and that's really important to me. And when I joined Instagram and started doing social media, I had zero idea that I would really be talking to perimenopausal, menopausal women. I didn't set out to be like the menopause fitness trainer. It happened because I was a woman in my mid-40s when I started who was strength training, who happened to be starting to have perimenopause symptoms, and they were getting worse and worse, and I would just I talk a lot. And so I would talk on my stories about this, and I started attracting a lot of people saying, yeah, me too, me too, me too. And so that's just kind of where I took my content is, you know, lifting for longevity, lifting for health, training around our perimenopause symptoms. You know, you did that amazing piece of content about how to adjust your exercise.
I've done tons of amazing pieces.
Just that one. You did that one.
I only did one. Okay.
No, is that one about how to adjust like the intensity of your training? Not because we can't handle it.
And we were never sort of taught the practicalities of this within our menopause, our personal training.
Not within training certifications, no.
But we've sort of just applied what we've learned and applied it to how we were feeling, and then what we know from the exercise physiology standpoint, and now our hormonal changes. And so I get really frustrated out there still. I talk about this all the time. Somebody sent me something today, and it's like this hormone expert, she's calling herself, and she's an ex-bodybuilder who just decided to do bodybuilding at 52, and granted she looks great. I also know how much work and restriction and deprivation it takes to look like she did, and I'm not prepared ever to do that. It's not important to me, but you can't do that. You can't come out and call yourself a hormone expert, and unfortunately that's a trend we're seeing, isn't
Absolutely. The trend with hormone experts, the trend specifically to how to like fix, replace our hormones as we, that people are constantly talking about in menopause. Here are the things you can't do because you don't have enough hormones. Well, you're not eating enough, so all the different things. Like you shouldn't eat these things. The problem is you're exercising too much. Like all of this stuff that's just not the case. And what I really liked about that one piece of content you made, it really is true. There were a lot of moments in my fitness journey when I was really struggling in perimenopause that I couldn't lift as much as I usually did, but it was just because I had not been sleeping well, right? I was really stressed out about the fact that I was having hot flashes all night. It didn't mean that permanently I couldn't lift that much, or that if I did lift that much, it was bad for me. It was just that day I needed to dial back, and then another day I could dial it back up as I was feeling like
and I think that we've not been spoken to in that way before, right? Because we're very rule driven, and if we feel like we're supposed to do these workouts and we don't do them, then we're failed. It's very binary, the conversation, and you know, we're here for the messy middle all the time. And so I just feel like the way it's evolved is mine's evolved obviously more to be about perimenopause, because it used to just be personal, my account, and then about strength training, and it's just evolved as well. Of course, it's ended up being most of the work we do. The difference between you and I is I don't feel comfortable talking about fat loss, weight loss. And we'll talk about that now. And one of the reasons I don't feel comfortable talking about it is because I can't deal with the emotive side of it, because it triggers a lot of people, right? And it's very so I do talk about nutrition, and we have the same sort of qualifications as well. And I believe in education, and I want to teach women, and I know how help women lose weight. I just don't want to do it. Right?
Well, look, I certainly have caught a lot of flack for doing it. Not as much now, because the people who follow me follow me for that content.
Right, so that's what I was going to sort of like lead into that. So how your work's evolved is that you've become, to me, like because I don't do the programs, I refer out to programs. I love Abby's work. I love the Balance through 6 to 5 girls. I love your work, and they're the three that I like talk about all the time, because I think you all do it well, right? And I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about weight loss if that's what somebody wants, but we shouldn't just assume that all women want weight loss, right?
Absolutely. We shouldn't assume that they want weight loss, and we also shouldn't put it upon them that it's not okay to want to lose weight. And that's been a big message in recent years, that you shouldn't want to lose weight. If you want to lose weight, that's a problem, and we need to help you not want to lose weight. And I just don't think that's correct. I think that both are possibilities, wanting to lose weight, not wanting to lose weight. And I do think, especially for a person who is rather slim, really questioning, do I need to lose 5 or 10 more pounds, or is that just training of a lifetime of constantly being told you should lose weight, right?
You should be thin. And
you should be thin, right? And I grew up that way, right? I grew up in the 80s, the era of the supermodel, right? I always thought, and I look back, I never needed to lose weight when I was 19 and 20. What I really could have used to like get this look I was looking for was to pick up some weights. Like that would have helped me get the look I was looking for. But all through my 20s, I was trying to lose 5 pounds. In my 30s, I actually did struggle with obesity. I gained a lot of weight with pregnancy. 3 pregnancies, gained 50 pounds with each one, never fully lost it. And I really felt very overwhelmed with the facts that I couldn't figure out how to fix it, because I would buy these diet books by doctors that would promise me the world, and they didn't work. And I would buy the magazines that would tell me I could lose 50 pounds by Christmas or something, and it was already like November 9th, and none of it seemed to work or work for long enough. I would lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight.
Right.
And so what I really want to do is help a woman, one, decide, is weight loss even for me? And if it is for me for now, how can I do it in a way that feels good, that doesn't make me feel like garbage, that doesn't take over my life?
And that doesn't rebound again.
That makes
right?
it, yes. So that doesn't mean
It's
that I'm constantly trying to
the
lose this weight.
stickability is the thing that we were looking at, and unfortunately that's not sexy, is it? And
not at all.
You know, and so you're in this space now as a very good player in the fat loss, weight loss conversation, and I really like the way that you do work with women. But do you still get any slack for it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Look, first of all, I'm not the person people are going to reach out to and be like, hey, let's have you on my show, my podcast or whatever to talk about weight loss, because nobody wants to talk about weight loss because it's really out of fashion to talk about weight loss, right?
Right.
But at the same time, the social media world is just inundated with garbage advice about weight loss.
Yeah.
It's garbage. And the same thing with magazines, if you're looking at print magazines. And so it really is hard to get a message out to women, like, here are some things you can do that will actually work, which, by the way, I don't have some kind of like secret that I brought from the jungles of the Amazon. Like, it's very basic stuff, but there's a lot that goes into how do you actually make this basic stuff work for you.
Right.
And that's like that nitty gritty work is what I help with.
The nitty gritty is like the behavioral change, the habit based stuff, which again sounds super boring, but it actually really works.
It's the stuff that works.
You've got a course coming up, don't you? You've got the I've talked about this before in my newsletter, which you all should be signed up to, by the way. But in the so when's it coming up? In March?
Yeah, so I have 2 things coming up. The first one is totally free. Would love to have you join. It's a 4-day challenge called the Midlife Makeover, 4 days to a fitter you. And by the end of the 4 days, you will hopefully have gotten some insight into why you failed with weight loss in the past, and also taken some action steps to build momentum, because that getting started part can be really hard. So that's the free challenge I have coming up. And then that's leading up to the launch of the spring round of Fitter After 40, which is my signature course. We spend 8 weeks together. I coach the group together. We work on strength training, we work on nutrition, we work on mindset, we work on overcoming our menopausal hurdles. So if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling low on energy, if you're feeling lots of cravings and lack of sleep, like, how do we still lose weight?
That's me last night. I didn't sleep well last night. I'm feeling like rough this morning. And actually, when we did the meet and greet, there was people that were there from your group.
Yeah,
right?
people who've done my course in the past. Yeah, absolutely.
So it was really great. And some of them were like friends of mine, and so there was like a lot of cross. Anyway, it was really, really nice to sort of see that. So anyway, if you, I'm going to put that. When can I talk about that if people are interested? The links aren't up yet, are they?
The link for the challenge will be up in the next couple of days, so I'll get that to you soon.
All right. So then check the captions. Yeah, it should be there. Yeah, that's fine. And good luck with that. I know people really enjoy it. And they stick around afterwards to your membership.
They stick around, and we build this community. It's a group of middle-aged women who are working together. It's very supportive. It's not judgmental, and I really work to meet you where you are. So if you're a person who's you were an athlete in a former part of your life, this can be for you. If you've like literally never been fit in your life, it can be for you. Like, I work to help you start with where you are.
Yeah, everyone's got a place. Everyone's got a place to start somewhere. So anyway, good luck with that. I hope it goes well.
Thank you.
So thanks, Kim.
Yeah, it was great to be here in Canada.
I know. It was lovely.
My favorite British Texan friend.
I know. And it was so funny when I was in Texas, people were like, you're not very Texan. No, but it's so funny when you came off the train, I was like, oh, hi, Kim.
I know.
Like I'd known you for
it's true.
It's just what social media can do for you now, isn't it? Like,
definitely
it's so great.
A positive aspect to social media.
And then if you don't follow Kim already, go and check her out on Instagram as well. It's a really helpful account as well. Very, very sane, I might add.
Well, that's sane as far as fitness and weight loss. Sometimes a little cuckoo as far as what I do.
As far as like Harry Styles is concerned.
As far as talking about Harry Styles all the time.
Oh my God, yeah. Her and her daughter dress up and go to see Harry Styles, I get it.
Well, look, if my husband ever dies, I'm going to go after Harry Styles.
Yeah. Cougar the life out of him, I would, So anyway, thanks everyone for joining this week, and thanks for all your lovely comments. I always read them and I always try and reply, and so thanks very much, and see you next time. Bye.